What's going on, beautiful people? And welcome back to another comic book review video. I'm your majestic sayer of words, SuperCliff, and if you guys are new to the channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell so that you will never miss out on an upload, and that you will always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics happening in the comic book world. And today, folks, we are back at it with Marvel's God of Thunder, the All-Father of Asgard himself, Thor, issue number 17. And in this issue, Thor, the ruler of Asgard, will finally learn that with power comes truth, and that being a king isn't so simple as perhaps being an Avenger. Thus, we are hitting the shocking conclusion of Donny Cates' revelations. And guys, if you haven't been keeping up with the current adventures of Thor, then check out the playlist within this video's description. It will help catch everyone up on what's been happening in Donny Cates' Thor. Thus, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Alrighty folks, so Thor's reign over the Golden Realm hasn't been the retirement that he hoped for, and that's clearly the case within this moment, because with Thor having been reunited with his estranged father Odin, and the surprising arrival of both Odin's ex-wife Freya and Thor's sister Angela back in the last issue, things are about to get extremely awkward. But before the family reunion can properly begin within the forests of Vanaheim, the family must battle a horde of Korrigans from the realm of Muspelheim, which were brought over during the War of the Realms. Now, once the battle begins, Freya immediately excuses herself from the conflict, telling everyone that she'll be right back. And with that, she gives her sword to Thor. Eventually, after wave of killing Korriganettes, we see Odin beginning to lose his patience, because right now, he has no idea as to what the overall plan is. Like, are they just gonna keep slicing and dicing monsters, or are they just waiting around to get killed? But alas, the family is eventually saved with Freya's arrival, marking her return as the god of the hunt. But more importantly, she returns riding a giant black cat with mounted machine guns, and thus Freya easily exterminates all the remaining monsters, whilst at the same time preparing everyone for some dinner. Later that night, while the family cooks up some Korganite meat, both Odin and Freya continue on with their ongoing arguments. Typical banter that your average day, ex-husband and ex-wife would have. Eventually, Angela shuts everyone up, announcing that she was the one, instead of her mother, who called for this family meeting to take place. Angela tells Thor that she and the angels of heaven, along with the Vanir of Valheim, are aware of what's been happening during his reign. The Black Winter, the death of Galactus, Donald Blake and the World Serpent, Mjolnir, the growing entropy of Odin's enchantments, they know it all. And basically, Angela is telling Thor that his reign has been a disaster. And because Asgardians have a bad habit of bringing death and misery to other realms whenever their throne isn't kept up to date, Angela wants Thor and Odin to reconcile in order for her brother to learn from his father on how to be a king, and vice versa. Because if not, Angela will have no problem in claiming the throne for herself, for she will claim the right of firstborn in order to take the throne, even though she doesn't want it. Yet she is willing to do whatever it takes for the good of the realms. Now, upon seeing Thor becoming visibly upset with Angela's bluntness, Freya asks Angela to take Odin home so she can speak with Thor privately. But since Odin is spoiling for a fight, Angela decides to take him to an alien gladiator arena, where Odin faces off against a giant insectoid monster. Basically, Odin's in heaven. He's in his happy place. Afterwards, Freya explains to Thor that after recent revelations, such as the Phoenix being, Thor's mother, and Jason Aaron's Avengers, she doesn't know how she fits in his life anymore. But though she didn't bear him, at the end of the day, she still raised him. Thus, she is still his mother. Thus, it's here where Thor begins to confide with his mother, with Thor explaining that his biggest worry about being king is that he will be the last king of Asgard, because he doesn't wish to have an heir to inherit the cursed throne, because Thor believes that no god nor person should ever have to bear the responsibility of containing Asgard's dark secrets. And it's why Thor seemingly has been acting weird of late, ever since he saw the future regarding Thanos wielding Mjolnir with the Infinity Stones imbued, Thor's afraid that the cycle of violence will basically continue, reaching a never-ending stop, and that Thor's actions will be the direct cause. However, his mom assures him that everything will work out alright, because whatever happens, they'll fix it together. They will save Asgard. Suddenly, Thor gets a call, or as he calls it, an electronic letter, from Captain America at Avengers Mountain. And with Thor wondering what the issue is, Cap tells him that his hammer is missing. Mjolnir is missing. And that, folks, was Thor, issue number 17. And while this issue's cover may suggest a focus on Thor's choice to leave Mjolnir behind, the issue places its sights elsewhere, on the dysfunctional family dynamic of one of Marvel's most powerful families. Picking up directly where issue 16 left off, Thor is reunited not just with his father, but with his mother and his sister. And this issue begins with an extremely bloody but humorous fight scene. Roughly 3 pages of the issue are dedicated to showing Freya riding a giant badass black cat with 2 automatic machine guns strapped to it. It's a scene both dynamically and humorously executed by artist Mikel Bandini and the colorist Matthew Wilson. And not all of this issue is so deliciously absurd, as Donny Cates dedicates much of the issue to an emotive, inevitable interrupted family confrontation scene over a campfire. Cates maintains an almost pitch-perfect balance of both dramatic and comedic elements. With Odin and Freya separated and Thor on the throne, Cates finally takes some much-needed time to explore what this means for not only Thor, but other members of his family as well, beyond just Loki. While it's not necessarily a character piece, it still spends enough time developing characters to an extent that large set pieces and action sequences don't feel overpowering. Now, there are a few intriguing choices in panel layouts, and Bandini sometimes draws figures and faces a bit stiffy, but he nonetheless effectively portrays the issue's steady increase in emotional tension. His true talent as an artist shines during the action scenes. Wilson, meanwhile, moves effortlessly between the riot of color in the opening fight scene and the intimate glow of the campfire. But yeah, those are my thoughts for Thor issue number 17, and overall, compared to the last 2 issues, this was a fine conclusion to a stopgap of an arc. So yeah, Thor issue number 17 gets an 8 out of 10. And guys, if you liked this video, make sure to hit that like button and to show your support to the channel. And tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on this issue? Are you guys excited for issue 18? We got Throg starring in that one. So yeah, let me know down in the comment sections below. And until the next video, peace.